Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
It is Chain Lake Express Wash Night here on Home Track Heroes, presented by Premier Polaris. Excited to have you in because we have got late models, and, well, some other stuff. And late models. It should be a fun show. My name is Caleb Hart. He is Ben Iman. Ben, welcome in. This one should be fun as we have got the Central Welding Twin 50s going off tonight to start our show and almost close to the end of the show as well.
That's right. The late models get out there twice tonight, so we'll get to see them. I know the BECU mini stocks are running, as well as the Tire Pro street stocks, as well as the Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure 8s.
So it should be a good night, a little bit of variety, a little bit of something for everybody to enjoy, as we like to do here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Big thank you to Gene Johnson, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical for their year-long sponsorship of our program here. Can't thank them enough. Without them, there would be no Home Track Heroes. So, without further ado, from Evergreen Speedway, here we go. Main event number one for the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models. On the pole, welcome back, Jeff Knight, Adam Monroe, the Nitrous Ranch and Cattle, number 70 car, outside row number 1 out of Everett. It is the NW Boiler, number 14 of Colton Price.
That's right. In row 2, it's the 7D, the Busch Light Bandit, Dawson Cox out of Arlington. Starting alongside, out of Snohomish, the 78, sponsored by Joe's Racing Products, it's Haley Constance.
Row number 3, Damon Lang, J&R Truck Rentals, number 18 out of Linwood. Next to him, he's your points leader, the 3-car, Wyatt Gardner out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Edwards Construction.
Returning after an incident earlier in the season is the 12C of Chad Fitzpatrick out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Trademark RCS. He'll start alongside the K9 tonight of Caden Holm out of Monroe, sponsored by Johansson Mechanical.
5th and final row, Chase Gardner's 32 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Quality Towing. And the newcomer, the name's familiar, just a brand new division for him. It is the 2 of Mike Marthaler making his Pro Late Model debut. He's out of Everett. Direct Carpet Cleaning and Restoration, the sponsor on the 2 car. 10 cars going 50 times around on the 3/8 model. We've got some new cars in the field. That is a brand new car for Fitzpatrick after destroying his at the Summer Showdown. That is a new car in Marthaler out there, and a new wrap on the Haley Constance car celebrating her Central Welding sponsorship. So, whole lot of fun, and a welcome back to Jeff Knight off the pole as well. There's new faces and new design, something for everybody to take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to take a look at. I really appreciate the design of the 12 that Chad Fitzpatrick's got out there. I love that little orange stripe, makes the number beautifully bright. You can see it well. And yeah, Jeff Knight returning, awesome to see.
So, from the pole, Knight, a little hesitant to get to the gas, but they're even Steven at the line. Green flag is out. It is Knight and Price into corner number 1 here on lap number 1 of the first, the Central Welding Twin 50s. Advantage Price for now as they get into turn 3.
Yeah, everyone's staying closely bunched up together, not breaking apart into that single file line that we'll see. Colton Price is trying to make that high line work. Not many drivers has been able to do that in multiple classes this season, but Colton's doing a good job keeping his car there, getting some good exits out of turn 2.
One of the things that if you're Colton you don't want to do is let Jeff get into rhythm down at the bottom of the racetrack. As very successful driver, just been a while since he was full-time back into a car, as they're going to make a Jeff Knight sandwich going into the corner. Dawson Cox on the bottom in the Busch Light 7. Haley Constance, the Central Welding 78, going to the high side, and just like that, Knight goes from pressuring for the lead to 4th and maybe 5th. His name is to the inside. Haley to the inside, and Cox looking for 2nd.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there for Jeff Knight. I wonder if maybe he just got a little bit too far inside hit some of that curbing. But he quickly went from contending with Price to the inside, that sandwich you mentioned. Now Price and Cox are dueling it out for 2nd. Nema Lang and it looks like Wyatt Gardner have gotten around Jeff Knight further back. So lots of fast cars making their way forward. But if we look at Colton Price, starting to pull away from this front group.
He is adding some distance between himself and Constance. Constance battling hard with Cox. Cox, we talked about all the brand new 4-corner shock package underneath that car for tonight, and they had gone out in practice and did their best to just kind of learn what they had, figure out what the car needed, and they are still in the learning process on what those shocks are going to do. You know, you put a new package on, it changes everything about every corner of the car, so good, smart crew there. They're going to figure it out before too long. Right now, he's in danger of slipping a spot to Nema Lang, who's looking for 3rd to the inside.
Yeah, Dawson Cox has been on a little bit of a tear, we could say. He hopped in Chevy Vincent Super Stock Figure 8 and Figure 8 Nationals night and claimed a win in that class, and then ran 4th in the Summer Showdown 200 running that pro late into the super race. So lots of speed for Dawson Cox, although he makes a couple of changements, trying to figure some stuff out, and it looks like Nema Lang gets around him and maybe Wyatt Gardner here, but Dawson's been on a little bit of a hot streak.
Nothing wrong with continually trying to improve your race car and finding new areas to go to work on it. Right now, battling with Gardner, trying to stay in the top 5, and Wyatt, with all the power and speed he has when he gets the low side advantage on you, it is a matter of when, not if. So give 5th to Gardner. We'll watch and see how much further he can shoot up the pack, as just like that, 9 laps went by awfully quick.
Yeah, where these cars are moving around this 3/8 oval. That 3-car Wyatt Gardner, that car is bad fast, Caleb. That thing has been hustling its way around this track. Whether it's the 5/8 oval, this 3/8 oval, it is just, he's been the car to beat.
Yep, Summer Showdown winner for him. Definitely has picked up some big hardware here on the year, and as we mentioned earlier, your points leader is he is sitting 4th on this field, not 5th, my apologies. Behind Nema Lang, who is trying to find a way around Constance. Look back a couple of spots in the field. There's Knight in the 70 and Caden Holm in the K9 doing battle a little further back. And Knight has the spot for now, but you can see Holm glued to the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2 looking for a path by.
Yeah, looks like we'll jump back ahead. Nema Lang's trying to close in on Haley Constance. This has been a good battle all season. These two have had lots of tough races, been around each other all year long, so we'll see if Wyatt Gardner, he's the 3rd car in tow here, but if Nema can create a little bit of a hole and slip around Haley, Wyatt might be able just to follow him through, let Mr. 8-Time do all the work, and then you follow through for another position.
And I'm reaping all the benefits. As down into turn number 1, Wyatt not willing to wait. Little touch of the tires as they come through the corner. He's got to back out of it for now, but Gardner thought he saw opportunity down at the bottom of the turn. Now we'll go in cockpit, the Brandy Hood Promotions in cockpit view with the GoPro. Nema Lang sitting in 3rd and getting pressure from behind and looking to move forward at the same time.
Yeah, we mentioned that Nema Lang's in a tough position because you're trying to play offense and go run down the 78 of Constance in front of you, but you're having to play defense at the entire time with a car like Wyatt Gardner behind you. It's oftentimes hard to be that sandwich car in this position. You want to go on attack, but you might have to give up, some of your defensive line in order to go attack, and can Wyatt slip on by you? So, Nema Lang is definitely a legend here around Evergreen Speedway, and he has the skill and the knowledge to make it work. So, if it's anyone to be in this position, it's probably him.
Car's a little twitchy coming off of turn number 4 and at least into turn number 1. Let's see if he's got all the right combination to find his way underneath Haley for the lead. For 2nd, is Haley hanging on to that spot at the moment. Lang chasing, and very few guys, like you said, are going to be able to straddle that line of just aggressive enough, although it looks like he might have pulled it off. Clean line to the low side for Lang, down in the bottom of 3, and let's see how hard they're going to fight coming off the corner. No contact there. They get into 1. Constance might have had it by a hair, but preferred line for Lang down on the low side, down the back straightaway. He'll nose ahead in a second.
Yeah, and here comes Wyatt Gardner. He might try to stick the nose in on Lang a little bit. I think Wyatt's trying to get aggressive himself behind the number 18 of Lang, but Nema Lang has got that low line, that preferred line. Haley Constance not giving up, planting herself high, keeping it close, although she got a little high up there the track in turn 2, and that'll be all she wrote right now for the battle for Nema Lang. Let's see if she can get back up there. And like we said, Wyatt Gardner trying to slip on through, follow Nema Lang behind. A lot of speed in that 3-car. Can Constance either stick with him or maybe try a crossover move coming here out of turn 2?
One of the things these drivers will tell you is how differently each of the corners race, and you can see Constance way better in that middle to high groove off of 3 and 4, but couldn't quite keep up in 1 and 2. That allows those two drivers in and by. As let's get a look a little further back in the field. There's Cox in the Busch Light 7 and the trademark RCS 12, the new car for Chad Fitzpatrick. Not used to seeing him with the blue out there, but sure does look good, like you said earlier.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a little bit of an adjustment seeing it for the first time out, but it looks good, and it looks good going around this track. So, one thing is you don't want your car looking good just idle. You obviously want it to look good when it's turning laps. So Good to see Chad return, and now he's trying to make a move on Dawson Cox, jumping back forward. Nema Lang's now having to just defend from Wyatt Gardner, an easier task in the sense that you're not trying to go forward, and there's a little bit of a gap up here to Colton Price. I'm sure they'd love to run him down, but if there's one car that's going to be tough to defend, it's that 3-car.
As he is past high, past low, past just about everybody at some point in time this year. The guy who's loving to see it is Price, as we are just a hair away from halfway, and the longer Lang and Gardner battle, the better it'll be for Colton in the 14-car, a former mini stock champion. who is hanging right now in the front and trying to maintain the lead that he has over second and third. Wyatt has a lane down low on Lang, going into one, but can't get the nose in there to make the pass.
Yeah, Wyatt's going to have to try to find something. Nema Lang is one of the best defenders in all of this field, so he's not going to make it easy for you, that's for sure. And yeah, as you mentioned, the longer these cars battle it out, the more Colton Price can begin to lick his chops for a potential victory here tonight.
Now, on a 50-lap race like this, you're not super worried about tire wear at this point in time. It is go for it and run, as we'll flash back for a second and get a look at the battle for fifth. Cox and Fitzpatrick having a good race back there. As you can see, second and third are closing on Price, all the while battling it out between themselves. The 18 of Lang on the bottom of the racetrack, and the 3 of Wyatt Gardner. He is looking for every opportunity to get around. All the while, the 14 gets closer lap after lap. So Lang, again, doing that exact thing we talked about. He's going to be one of the few guys able to do it earlier, playing offense and defense all at the same time here, reeling in your leader and trying to keep the 3-car at bay.
Yeah, Nema Lang, Wyatt Gardner are running down Colton Price. I don't know what's going on with the 14. Price had so much speed in those first 25. Could be tires, potentially. Seems a little early for that, maybe. But these two, Lang and Gardner, are starting to tail him in now. Nema Lang didn't have the start to the season that I'm sure he would have preferred for that 18, but has gotten so much better over the course of this season. You can see here these two cars have closed a significant gap in just the span of 3 laps.
Last, let's say, 30 days or so, the 18 cars really come alive, like you said, as he's running second, a very strong second right now, and is close to rolling up on the bumper of Colton Price here. 20 left. Price, you hope he's not in hang-on mode, at least for the time being, but that race car is looking just a hair loose at the corners, and that's part of what's allowing Lang and Gardner at the same time to run him down. The battle for the lead is on with 18 to go, as Price now under fire from second and third.
Well, Colton Price is a skillful driver, and hang-on mode can work for so long, but if there's 2 cars that you don't want behind you when you're in hang-on mode, it's Nema Lang and Wyatt Gardner still turning in good times. Colton is still leading the field. These two haven't quite caught up to him, so Colton maybe just letting them catch back up. We saw this a lot during the Summer Showdown. Two races for both the pros and the supers. Sometimes the leader would kind of get off the gas a little bit, then get back into it, save up a little of that rubber. We'll see maybe what he's got. Here comes Wyatt Gardner potentially around the outside of Nema Lang. Lang closes the door, but crossover for Gardner. He's going to get down the inside. Beautiful move by Wyatt, although he has to back out of it, as Lang got just low enough in the corner that Wyatt did not have him cleared. They'll go into 3, and Nema again just narrowly getting the door shut into the corner. Gardner not there yet, but you can see he's trying to time it up and figure it out, and Price got another car length of breathing room in the exchange. I think if Wyatt Gardner can get another run out of turn 2 like he just had a little bit ago, or out of turn 4 here even, I think he has a chance in the next 4 or 5 laps to potentially get around Nema Lang. We'll have to see, as he's going to potentially look to the top side here. Not enough there, but get a big run as Lang's all the way to the back of Colton Price. Now might look down the inside, keeps the car there. Ooh, some contact. Traffic jam, and this could actually play out for Gardner here. Watch him swing up to the outside as both of those cars slowed a bit. Coming off the corner, very wide around the corner. He's going to grab second down the back straightaway. If he can keep his momentum up, here's the big push. Gardner trying to use that little touch-up between first and second to move into the lead. Here we are with 11, make it 12 to go, and Gardner with his bid for the top spot. Oh, Wyatt Gardner, there's the big exit out of 2 and a huge run away. Wyatt Gardner, new race leader. It's been Colton Price's for what seemed to have been 30-something laps, 25-plus laps, but Wyatt Gardner says thank you very much. Contact between the 18 and the 14 initiated the whole thing, and you saw in that last shot for a moment, you can see Nema Lang, Colton Price side by side here. Good battle for second to 78. Haley Constance getting back in this battle. You wonder if Nema's kicking himself and saying, man, I was just a lap too early on that. If I have timed that for 1 lap later, don't slow us down. You can see that little push that Colton's developed, leaving the low groove open. Nema goes by, he'll take second. Haley in a good spot maybe to follow through in that hole for third, although Colton knows she's coming, gets back down to the bottom of the racetrack to try to hold her off with just a hair worth of laps left to go. Yeah, Colton having to hang on here. Haley Constance pushing hard. We'll see if she has it under. We'll have a heat race distance to go. 8 laps as Wyatt Gardner crosses the line. A huge gap back to Naima Lang. Oh my goodness, Wyatt Gardner, the 3 cars, found some late speed, but the best battle on tracks, this battle for third. Haley Constance looking for the run on Colton Price, see where she can find it. And they're going to just settle in. Don't want to get too eager too early, but might have a run out of 4, gets to the bumper of Price. Coming into turn 1 now. They slingshot around. Price is trying to stay as low as possible, gets up the track slightly. These two are duking it out. This is for your final podium spot for third. Constance trying to find the move, get that 78 Central Welding wrapped scheme up onto the podium. She can get around Colton Price.
Down into 1 and 2 they go. Constance hammering hard, looking for opportunity. As Price down the back straightaway will go in cockpit here with Fitzpatrick, who's up on the high side, making the low side, trying to poke his way forward. As you're looking at Knight and Holm battling on the left-hand side of the screen. There's the move by Haley, down on the inside through 1 and 2. Got the nose ahead. Constance looking for that third and final spot on the podium.
Yeah, wants to capture third. The 78 has come alive in the last 10 laps, and you can see how far away Naima Lang has gotten with this squabble. She might have the Colton Price cleared here. Yes, does. And we flash back quickly to Chad Fitzpatrick, who's making the run on Dawson Cox. That's the battle for 5th right now. They're side by side through turns 3 and 4. But Constance up into third, a big gap from Constance to Naima Lang, an even bigger gap from Naima Lang to Wyatt Gardner.
A lot of movement within your top 5 just in these last few laps, as Chad had followed Dawson for a whole long time, probably 20, 30 laps there before finally pouncing and making the move. And Cox in the middle, just not willing to give it up quite yet, although there comes Chad clear and firmly into 5th place with just a handful to go.
Yeah, this will be, see if Chad can hold off Dawson. I'm sure Dawson would love a chance to get back up into that 5th as we look at our leader. Claims the white flag one more time around. You can see there's Mike Marthaler in the middle of a lap sandwich. Naima Lang, Wyatt Gardner just put him a lap down, but it'll be no contest back to the line as Wyatt Gardner will come out of 4 for the final time and capture the first Twin 50.
Well, your points leader continues to build on that strength. Lang 2nd and Constance 3rd here for the first of 2 Central Welding Twin 50s. We'll come back. We'll get some thoughts down on the podium from those drivers and have more racing action coming up for you on Home Track Heroes.
I know a tight battle there between you and Colton Price for a long time. Walk us through those laps. You were just side by side.
Yeah, to be honest, we were up to 2nd for a little bit. Cars started to go away. Definitely going to make some adjustments when we get back to the pit. It was fun battling with Colton. It's always nice having a clean side-by-side battle like that. Hopefully next race we can bring it up here in the 1st place position.
I know everyone going back there going to make a lot of adjustments, so I'll let you go after this one. Who helped you get out here tonight?
A huge thank you to my dad. He's my biggest support system, helps me through everything. My papa, my mom, Kai, Central Welding, everybody from Central Welding who came out tonight to watch, DeYoung Inc., Joe's Racing Products, and there's a bunch more that I'm forgetting, but.
Driver the number 78, Haley Constance, 3rd place tonight. We're to go to that amazing moment there as all 3 of you right in the hornet's nest. You've got a lot of experience behind the wheel of a late model. What's going through your mind in a situation like that where you're right in between 1st and 3rd?
Well, you just, 50-lap main, you just got to make your move, make it quick. Can't spend too long following a guy or racing him. You got to get through. But it was a good overall, clean racing. It's fun.
Keeping your composure as always out there. Who helped you get that car out here tonight?
My whole crew, obviously, and then J&R Truck Rentals, Lang Auto Sports, and MJ's Auto Transport.
Driver the number 18 machine, that is Naima Lang. All right, Wyatt, that was another real tight race. What gave you the courage to go up to the top side there in 1 and 2, the pass that made the win?
Oh, I just saw the laps clicking down and knew we had to go. So it was a lot of fun. Naima and I have a lot of respect for each other, so we can bang some door panels and laugh about it afterwards. So I knew we had a pretty good car, and I knew the 14 was struggling on the bottom and was going to probably hold the 18 up. So figure if we sailed her in there until we saw Jesus, we'd hopefully find some grip to drive off, and it worked.
Who helped you get that car out here tonight?
All my guys, busted their butts again. Corey, Wade, Rob, Jason, Jimmy, Gene, Pacific Lighting Systems, Edwards Construction, the Armed Forces, Central Welding Supply for all that they do for the local racer. we haven't paid for nitrogen in a long time, and I can't thank them enough for the hospitality and just my family. You know, my girlfriend, my mom, Pops is up above helping us knock these off one at a time. So we'll keep digging and see if we can't pick up one more later.
You ready for round 2?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a Gatorade, and we'll see if we can't nut and bolt this thing. And I know they're doing an invert, so we got a lot more cars to pass this go around, but I think we got a pretty good piece.
Driver of the number 3, he'll sign the check, $2,500 for Wild Wyatt Gardner.
Well, Wyatt Gardner continues collecting big checks here on the year. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. He's Ben Iman. I'm Caleb Hart. BECU Mini Stock time here on our program, which is brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. All right, Ben, what are we looking like here for the mini stocks?
Well, for the mini stocks, it's been a hot battle all year in the point standing. Let's run you through the lineup before we talk about that, though. On the point, out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Edwards K&S Construction, it's the 33 of Ryan Hausenfluck. So he's alongside the 12 car out of Marysville. It's Gavin Ballou, sponsored by Absher Build LLC.
Row number 2, Cole Reardon back with us. Car number 4 out of Granite Falls, sponsored by Full Throttle Graphics. Next to him, Jackson Beckles 18J out of Snohomish, sponsored by Tire Pros of Arlington.
The 81 is Bobby Fisher out of Lake Stevens. He's also sponsored by Tire Pros of Arlington. He'll start alongside the 26 of Jimmy Absher out of Marysville, sponsored by NPM Welding and Fabrication.
Row number 4 is Paisley Bender, the rookie out of Snohomish, sponsored by Stride Line Socks. Next to her, Jalen Vick, driving the 24, sponsored by Tom's Automotive.
The 14 car, Austin Kramer's out of Snohomish, and he's sponsored by Northwest Security and Sound. He'll start alongside the 72 of Ronnie Absher out of Federal Way, sponsored by United States Seafood.
The row behind them, the 61 is Randy Ditmars out of Snohomish. ATR Andrews Truck Repair sponsors him. And the twitch.tv/XChristine, number 14X Christine Hill, out of Linwood, Washington. Final starter, Travis Woodward. He's tail end Charlie, the Brava Pizza in Snohomish, number 16 car. So, points coming into this one because our points are getting a little bit short here on the year, Ben.
Yes, they are. The battle has essentially emerged between 3 main contenders. Travis Woodward sits in 3rd place, but coming into tonight, Jackson Beckel and Bobby Fisher are separated by a gap of less than 20 points. Less than 20 points coming into this race as we are under green, and Ryan Hausenfluck and Gavin Ballou take that line. So it's been a battle between that 81 and the 18J. Something to both note, both rookies of the class. This is their first year in the BECU mini stocks for both of them, and they're both leading the way.
A move up from Stingers and a move up from Hornets, respectively, for them, as Hausenfluck has got the early lead, but Beckel is finding something in the middle groove, and Ballou trying to hang on to 3rd right next to him, as there's Absher, the wild man, always throwing the race car around. He's trying to work the outside, but after 1 lap, make it 2 down. Now it is Beckel up in the front.
Yeah, Ryan Hausenfluck has just become a kind of a blockade for 3-4 cars behind him. I think they got 3 wide there for a moment between Fisher, Ballou, and I think Reardon. Absher gets down low on Ryan Hausenfluck, trying to make the move to 2nd. There's Fisher up into 3rd, or excuse me, up into 4th, and now we'll make the move up into 3rd if he can get around Ryan Hausenfluck.
Well, let's see what Fisher can do. Your opening night feature winner going door panel to door panel with his former Hornet Division compadre, as Ryan trying to make the middle go through, but it is going to be Bobby taking that 3rd and final spot on the podium for now with a lot of laps left to go. 26 still remaining here. Fisher up into 3rd, and that's bad news for everybody else.
Absolutely. These have been the 3 fast cars for so much of the year. A notable absent from the lineup tonight is the 221 of Lyndon Smith, last year's champion, not in the lineup tonight. So missing him. He's also been a fast car up in this class all year. So it looks like the 4 of Reardon's trying to make a move on the 33 of Hausenfluck. Makes the move there, trying to clear him, not quite all the way. Looks like Jimmy Absher has caught up to Jackson Beckel and got the inside line.
He is going to get in the corner.
Whoa.
Look out. And there's I don't want to say trademark Jimmy, but that's not the first time we have seen just overcooks it getting into turn number 1. And Beckel, good job staying calm and crossing right underneath to retake that lead. Now, let's see if it worked the first time. Maybe it'll work the second time. Into the corner, back in, nearly coming around. Beckel keeps her smoothing on the outside and holds serve for now.
I can't tell if that's Jimmy Absher driving Justin Brave's car with that back end getting so loose, but makes the move here. Jimmy Absher, we'll see if he kind of maybe takes it a little bit easier into this turn. Back end stays with him. Jackson Beckel might try the inside crossover. Not wanting to give up the lead that easy, but looks like Absher has enough speed to clear him. Jimmy Absher to the lead.
Not so fast, my friend.
Well, all right.
Yeah, coming off the corner. Here's Beckel getting right back after him, and this is a real interesting cat and mouse game. You see that Absher is willing to drive that car a lot harder into the corner, but no matter how hard you drive it, you got to get it to stick. It's either that or be able to catch up to it to get back, and Beckel is taking a little more of a conservative approach at it, and he's been able to get back to the lead a couple of times now.
Yeah, Jackson Beckel's been honestly timing it perfectly, playing really good defense here from the front of the lead. I thought Jimmy Absher had him clear. But, you know, Jackson just took that turn and that line perfectly, and he's been able to maintain the lead. We'll see if Jimmy Absher has enough to get back to him. Bobby Fischer's looming. And then we got a big gap back there to Raritan and then Ballou and Hausenfluck.
Having a good race back there. If you were betting on this one, I'd almost put even odds on both of those drivers up at the front of the field. And hey, at Angel Lewins Casino Resort, you can go sports betting. Think you can pick a winner? Prove it at Angel Lewins Casino Resort, the only home for sports betting north of Seattle, exit 210 off I-5 in Arlington.
I've actually participated in the sports betting at Angel Lewins Casino Resort.
Did you win?
No, I picked Justin Haley to win a NASCAR Cup Series race.
That was a terrible choice.
Well, you know what? He was hot for a moment.
For a moment, yes. As we're watching Woodward, who's worked his way up from the back of the field, and now Travis Woodward having a pretty good run. He's looking to crack into the top 5, but he's got a little ways to go, as you just see him getting by Ballou in the 12 car. Back up front we go. Beckel now in traffic. There's Ditmars with Absher and Fischer following him into the corner. We'll see how it all sorts out. They all get around Ditmars. And into turn 3, watch Absher trying to hunt him down as they're coming to pick up some more laps. We're approaching the halfway mark of this main event.
Yeah, Jackson Beckel's been all but under control of this race. Jimmy Absher's had the speed to get back to him, but has kind of come back. Jackson Beckel's been able to drive away slightly. We'll see if Jimmy Absher can get back to Beckel and maybe close this gap up. Well, if not, Bobby Fischer's also waiting in the wings. Again, the 18J and the 81 coming down, the title favorites, and those two are slugging it out. Bobby Fischer needs as every point as he can. Bobby Fischer, if we look at our heat races tonight, picked up a couple points on Jackson Beckel, finished higher in his heat race than Beckel did in his, so Bobby Fischer's gained a couple points, but right now he'd give those back if this result held.
Exactly, and you look at it, that one spot between the two of them, 2 spots between the two of them really could make the final determination in the season points at the very end of it. Again, just a handful of races left here for the BECU mini stocks. As Beckel now has got that pad, and he has been enjoying it over the course of about 5 laps or so, not having to play super defense mode on the 26 of Absher, so kind of cruising for now as we'll watch from Woodward's point of view on the inside, about to pick off Hausenfluck and move forward another spot for the 16. So a nice charge from the back of the field for Travis Woodward.
Yeah, Woodward's that third car about in that points battle. He's a little further back. I think he's going to need some magic if this title championship's going to go his way, but he's doing everything he can. You know, racers create their own luck, and if he's going to get into this points battle and into this championship battle, he's got to have good drives on his own right, and he's showing that right here. He's got himself up into the top 5, and now it's kind of up to the rest of the field playing out how it does.
Now he's going to find some good luck, right?
Yeah.
He's going to need a caution flag to bunch him back up, and hopefully that caution flag knocks out a driver or 2 out in front of him. Looking to not be that caution flag, though. That could be a problem as you get a look at your leader once again. Out in front, Jackson Beckel putting another lap. Ronnie Absher going a lap down. It is Beckel continuing to push hard and try to add a little more pad. Down to 8 to go for the 18J. as it has been a great rookie season for him, and he's looking to take home another main event win trophy just a little ways away from it.
Yeah, Jackson Beckel's gotten to the top step of the podium at least once this year, but has been on the podium or near about. Whoa, there's a car in the grass.
Hoping that car keeps up and going. Can't tell who it is for the time being, but
almost made contact with Jimmy Absher.
We stay clean and green. That is the big thing as far as Beckel is concerned, whose lead continues to expand here. Now, did Absher stay in spot? We'll wait until he comes back in camera. He did. So Absher's still out there and running second. Looking to run him down. Fisher is in the third position, and comfortably so, at least for the time being.
Yeah, Jackson Beckel has had a love-hate relationship with the late race caution flags this year at Evergreen Speedway. At one time was out in front, the late race caution came, and ultimately he was not the winner. As, the 26 looks like it's slowed up. You see the point from the flag stand. Problems for Jimmy Absher.
Oh, that's huge for Bobby Fischer, who now is in second, so no matter what, it's only a one-spot differential for him. Wishing, I'm sure, that he got off the racetrack and a caution came out, though. That way he'd have a closer chance at Jackson, but he'll take it. So Beckel gets the benefit of staying green, and unfortunately loses that one spot of pad he had between him and Fisher, so it'll be less of a points game if things stay as they are.
I think based off of how those heat races go, the points will be dead even to how they entered. No gain, no movement from Bobby Fischer. If this stands, we'll have to see 3 laps to go. We mentioned Jackson Beckel. The late race cautions have come at the wrong time for him before, but right now he's just trying to hang around, just trying to stay green, navigate the lap traffic. It's a big gap back to Bobby Fischer. Cole Raridan has inherited third.
Way to go, Cole. They thrashed to get that car together. First night out, he's got a top 3 in the works, so well done, Cole and team. Beckel looking to keep the lead. Bobby Fischer has been the victim of late race cautions just in years before you got here. As there was a number of Hornet main event wins that he was literally a half track ahead before a late race caution with 2 to 3 to go would come up to steal it from him. This one left. Beckel and Fischer, your rookie 2, and Raridan in his first night here on the year will come through, and it is Beckel getting the win. So Jackson Beckel gets the W. Second, you see Fischer, and third, give him a second, it will be Raridan. We'll hear from them on the Angel of the Winds Casino podium when we come back for more Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11.
So Cole, third place today tonight. We saw you sub in the 12 for part of the season, now driving your own car. How good is it good to be up on the podium?
It's kind of unreal, honestly. We finished the car in first practice, so I mean, it feels great to be back in a mini stock, and it feels great to be on the podium first night out.
And so who do you want to help you think putting the car together and getting out here for third?
My dad, Kelly Ballou, Royce Tanner, Bobby Fischer, J2 Racing, Full Throttle Graphics for my numbers. I mean, there's probably more. My girlfriend Jenny for letting me spend hours on end in the shop. My daughter, Kalia Raridan. Thanks all the fans for coming out.
Let's give it a third place tonight, Cole Raridan. Bobby, tough race tonight. What do you think you needed to catch Jackson in the 18J?
Well, I'm still running a borrowed motor, so I need my motor back. Next race.
Yeah, putting that would be helpful. But second place tonight's got to feel good. Who do you want to thank for helping you get out here tonight?
Huge shout out to everybody in our pits. Everybody works hard to keep our cars going. I got to bring out the trusty card. It's been a while since I've been up here. Raridan Racing helped me build this car, and in the entire season, it's been amazing. Special shout out to him. Tire Pros of Arlington, J2 Racing, Kellicott Landscaping Services, K's Crochet, Gary Fisher Construction, Full Throttle Graphics, Translab Performance and Transmissions, Beast Fab and Tuning, and all the fans and my family that supports me. You guys are amazing.
Let's give it up. Second place tonight, the 81, Bobby Fischer. Jackson, you started fourth, had to weave through a couple of cars to get up to the lead, and you never looked back. How good is it to win the race tonight and know you go into the next one still on top of the point standing?
Oh, you know, had a little bit of mishap in the pits, was a little angry, and I don't know, I guess that helped me drive through the field. I don't know, going into the next 2 races, up a couple points. I mean, I really got to finish, and it's been a great battle with Bobby, and you know, I I don't know.
When you are, there's such a slim point margin between you and Bobby. Does that go through your head when you're out there turning laps?
Not really. It's finish as high as you can. Mainly just finish. As 2 rookies in this field, it's pretty cool to be 1 and 2 right now.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here tonight?
Oh, JBR, John Bender, he puts a lot of hours in. Augie, the Stork Boys, PRCBD, Tire Pros Arlington, they're a really big help. PRCBD, Pro Alliance, My Spotter, Hottie Hair Lounge, Flat Holland. I think that's it.
Let's give it up. Race winner tonight, the 18J, Jackson Beckel.
Well, trying to steamroll his way to a championship. Congratulations, Jackson Beckel. Let's move forward. Inex Legends coming out onto the racetrack next. They've got 30 laps around the 3/8 model, the 3/8 mile, I should say, racetrack here on Home Track Heroes from Evergreen Speedway on Seattle 11. Caleb Hart, Ben Iman with you. Big thank you to Gene Johnson, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Legends lineup looking like this. It's Davis Jacobson out of Bonnie Lake on the pole, the Evergreen Concrete Cutting number 15D. Jaden Luce, now a feature winner on the year out of Issaquah in car number 19, makes up row number 1.
Row 2 starts with the 09 of Cole Alton out of Port Angeles, alongside the 40 of Samantha Schwartz out of Mercer Island, and sponsored by Sharp Transportation.
Row number 3, the Phillips Law Firm, number 33 of Kyle Lang out of Snohomish. Next to him, Braden Wager, the Dirt Cheap Sewer, number 30B from Camano Island.
Kaylee Decker's in the 68, she's out of Duval, and sponsored by Lewis and Maine, alongside Dakota Grachala in the 27, sponsored by Weatherright Roofing out of Snohomish.
The 5th row, Mason Nelson, Pacific Washington driver, car number 37, sponsored by Tri-Med Ambulance, and Jeremiah Johnson out of Linwood, sponsored by LB Motorsports in the 13.
We get further back, the 10 car, Chris Thompson's out of Snohomish, sponsored by Weatherright Roofing, alongside the 99 of Travis Blivens out of Stanwood, sponsored by Mayfield Hoisting Services.
The row behind them, the young rookie Damian Harris, Lake Stevens, Washington driver, the Flowmaster Gutters number 20, and Piper Alton from Port Angeles, the 42A.
The 52 is Chad Bennett out of Ellensburg, sponsored by Roberts Construction. We'll start alongside the 76C of Josh Vlock out of Edmond, sponsored by Burgess Construction, the Washington Deck Builder.
Row behind them, it is Bella Luce, car number 55 out of Issaquah, and Jeff Mueller, the 86, the Premier Painting Company LLC car.
Our final row has the 11D of Derek Bloomingdale out of Everett, sponsored by Blooming Therapy PLLC, and the 30 of Brian Estrin, the LB Motorsports car.
So, let's go 30, around the 3/8, ready to rock and roll for the Legends. Interesting name from the past here in this one I'll tell you about in just a couple of seconds. So we come off the corner and the flock, herd, whatever it is of Legends come right down at you into turn number 1. We are green, and there goes Jaden Luce up and around the high side looking for the lead.
Yeah, Luce flying off the start. Kyle Lang also getting low, trying to move forward. Kyle Lang is your points leader in the 33 as we have a car around the 20. And that might draw the caution out. It will.
Damian Harris, the driver, around, and around over there with him, the 99 of Blivens, I believe, or part of it Blivens, is what we're getting told. Let's take a look into the corner. It's kind of the other way around. Harris got into the left rear corner of Blivens there and ends up spinning out.
Yeah, there wasn't really looked like anywhere for Harris to go. Got just a little too low, made some contact with Blivens. You see gets around there. Everyone else manages to avoid, but then Blivens spins a little bit later in that clip.
Full 360 spin. We'll see what position he restarts in coming up. Is, well, laps? No, we didn't get any. It's okay. We'll get more. Here they come out on the racetrack 2 by 2. Stacked up, racked up, and ready to go.
I heard this is just going to be a full restart, so those drivers will get their spots back. Won't be sent to the back there as we didn't complete a lap. But these drivers will come out of turn 4, white line, green flag, and a good jump for Davis Jacobson in the 15D on that low line.
You know what it was? It was a practice start.
Yeah.
Right? They needed practice on starting, so we just gave them a whole practice lap. That's all it was.
You know, everyone needs, practice makes perfect.
It does. This, a far less profitable start for Luce, as it's actually going to be the 15D of Jacobson out in front after lap number 1. And this one counts as everybody makes it past the white start-finish line. Jacobson, your leader. Luce, 2. And Alton sits in position number 3 with a good battle for 4th between Lang in the 33 and Schwartz in the 40.
Yeah, good battle going on. Schwartz unfortunately, on that high line, not many drivers have been able to make that work across classes here at Evergreen Speedway. Loses 3 or 4 spots off the start there just by nature of being towards the top. Braden Wager in the 30Bs trying to move his way forward as Luce might have a look down the inside of Davis Jacobson for the lead.
Opportunity knocks. Can Luce answer the door? And down to the bottom, there's Alton shooting the gap down low. Has to back out of it as Luce has got the line and Luce has got the lead coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, that low line, lots of drivers have been trying it. It works for some. You know, it gets very aggressive, but you compromise so much speed into the turn. You carry so much into it that you have to brake so hard in the middle of those turns.
Well, we'll watch and see if anybody else considers that deep, like under the white line dive that John Zaretsky has made very, very popular within the division. Great passing line, hard line to continue racing and defending with, but a great line to pass with. It's here comes Alton taking a look off the bottom, and Jacobson gave him enough room off the bottom of 2 that they're going to go side by side for second into turn number 3.
Yeah, tough battle side by side. You see, you don't want to get pushed up to this high side because there's Lang, there's Schwarz, there's Weger, and Mason Nelson's hanging around the back there. But if one car gets you and you get pushed up to that high line, it might be 2, it might be 4, it might be 5.
Yeah, the freight train comes and it rolls hard down off the bottom of the racetrack. Lang's got the spot. Samantha in position, and Wager, just like you said, going to try to follow. Now, Lang kind of stepped out and went high for just a second. Jacobson couldn't take advantage of it, and Schwartz going to get down low, pick her way up into 4th. So nice run for Samantha, who's continually putting some better and better performances together in that race car.
Yeah, that train you'll see will trade around kind of here. Once you get pushed to that high side, you're falling to the back, and that's what's unfortunately happened for Davis Jacobson. Luce, Alton, Lang, Kyle Lang up into 3rd. It's been Kyle Lang's year so far in the 33-year points leader. Braden Wager sits a good chunk of points back, about 40 or 50 points or so back as we go on board with the 30B of Braden Wager, trying to run down that car in front of him. Braden Wager's trying to make a late challenge for this points, but it's going to be tough. I think Kyle Lang just needs to make sure that car comes home each night, and he'll be crowned champion.
Lang has been hunting that title for many, many years now and is close. It's within striking distance at this point as he and Alton going to trade second place around. Lang thought he had it with that inside move in 1 and 2 the last time by. Alton gets the preferred line around the bottom of the racetrack, back in 1 and 2 this time by. Cole Alton not done, holding on P2 for the time being. Lang thought about trying to dip low again, and there's the 40 of Schwartz, looking to shuffle Lang back into 4th. It's the inside line freight train coming into play again in this battle up front.
Yeah, Schwarz alongside Lang. Braden Wager's closing the bumper up. Lang, this could be interesting if Braden Wager can get around Kyle Lang. This is the battle, we watch now all season long. These two friends in the pits, but obviously when the helmets go on can oftentimes be a different story. But they'll give each other the room here as Wager's still trying to get inside lane. Lang won't let him come down to that preferred inside line.
And you can see Lang trying to fight to get to that inside line. There was just a hair of an opening there, and he thought about going for it. Couldn't quite get there. Now Jacobson rolling up to the inside as well, and off of turn 2. This is going to be where it matters, and bang. Lang got down to the bottom with just a hair of room in front of Jacobson to prevent losing one more spot.
And we've come up on lap traffic while we've been looking at this battle. Competitive shuffling by these legend drivers 2nd through 5th or 6th, and Jaden Luce is like saying, fine by me, just check out up front.
Yeah, I'll take off. No big deal. Have fun, boys. He's looking good. He's looking clean out front, in fact, and for absolutely the best car wash ever. Treat your favorite ride to the brand new Chain Lake Express Wash in Monroe. Express Wash has multiple wash packages designed to meet your budget and needs. Manage your Chain Lake Express Wash account easily on the go. Download the app from the App Store on Google Play today.
Well, while we were thinking, Chain Lake, it looks like, caution, I saw some contact there. Oh, it's the 55. The 55 is who's around.
Driver is Bella Luce.
Yeah, I was going to say Bella Luce, but as we were talking about, Bella Luce gets some contact there. The freight train was getting a little aggressive. Kyle Lang giving Braden Weger some bumper.
And now we're going to make it into a position where even more chaos can break out because we go double file on these restarts until these boys and girls prove that they can't. So doubled up right at the halfway point, 15 in, 15 to go. Jaden Luce is your leader. Cole Alton's going to be right next to him, though, coming to the white line. We're green here on the restart for the Legend main.
Yeah, side by side. This is not what Jaden Luce wanted. Jaden Luce was building up a nice little gap, and Cole Alton, Braden Weger, Davis Jacobson, you got to get down to that inside line as quick as possible. Big run for Cole Alton down to the inside. Braden Weger, maybe he's got some speed on that outside, making it work. So we're all bunched up. Everyone's staying nice for now. We'll see how long that lasts. Luce, Alton, Weger, Schwartz is on the inside. Lang trying to follow them through. Mason Nelson, this is good for him in that 37.
Yeah, the composition of your top 7 changed around quite a bit there with Mason right on the outside. Now Bliven's actually catching up as well. Luce ends up in your lead. Alton ends up second in that race for third with Weger on the outside, Schwartz on the inside. And Samantha has it for now, but Lang taking advantage of being able to get to the inside in the restart. He's back up to fourth and looking to pick his way forward again.
Yeah, big lunge from Travis Blivens down the inside of Mason Nelson further back. Those two made contact during their heat race. So interesting to see how that one plays out as they squabble the 40s around.
Oh, bad timing. Samantha got squirrely. Everybody avoids behind her, and we're going to take a couple of looks at how this all went down. Caution flag out now with 12 to go, and they'll double up once again. But let's get a look from our awesome Seattle 11 camera team.
Oh, Kyle Lang. Oh, just had to dive out of that one.
Yep. You can see her lock it up, too. Those rear wheels stop turning as she jams on the brakes, trying to figure it out. And around and done for Samantha, who will go to the back of the field. And again, Ben, they're going 2x2 again. Inside lane seemed to have your advantage, although Luce was good no matter where he ended up putting the car.
Yeah, Luce has been good. Braden Weger had a good run on that outside the last time. He'll restart fourth again and on that outside. So we shall see as they roll around turn 3 and come into turn 4. Luce and Alton. Cole Alton had a good run on that last restart, too. I wouldn't necessarily just give this to Jaden Luce just yet as we'll come to the green flag. They spread out pretty quickly. It's like a murder of crows.
Yeah.
It's a murder of hornets.
Oh, and there is some physicality. Look out. The 33 of Lang going to go around. He gets the wrong end of it. And Jacobson up in your top 5 as well. Samantha coming off the green grass. And let's take a peek at how that all went down. Lang to the inside. A little touchy on Luce. And around he goes. Lucky not to be hit as he was stacked up there with the whole field coming by from Kaylee Decker's point of view. Decker sees the whole thing happen and, wow, misses the mess off of 2. We'll take one more look at it, and we will go to break. We'll come back with the conclusion of the INEX Legends main event coming up next here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. As usual, it's been an adventure-packed INEX Legends main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Let's get back to it as laps running out, but still enough left. 12 to go. They go double file again after another caution. As inside row number 1, it is Jaden Luce, your leader. Surprising enough, Kyle Lang in position after that on the inside of row number 2. So nothing harmed from the 33 car as we go back to green flag action.
Yeah, I believe the word that we got from that was the caution came out due to the start. So that's where these drivers got their spots back. It was not a caution for incident, but a caution for a poor start.
Well, he should be checking for his lucky rabbit foot then in that incident as they'll make their way through the corner. Oh, a lot of contact sending Luce high up on the racetrack, opening up the bottom. There's the bid for the lead. Luce holds it for the time being down the back straightaway, but here comes Lang.
Yeah, Kyle Lang using the Zaretsky line to get low, and now side by side, there's side by side action everywhere, but Lang's trying to get low on Jaden Luce. Gets it there. Kyle Lang to the lead momentarily. Now Cole Alton's trying to follow Lang through on Jaden Luce. Jaden Luce has led almost nearly every lap of this race, but unfortunately a late race caution. Whoa, big lockup from Cole Alton. Kyle Lang had to check up. We'll see if Jaden Luce can get back down. Ooh, Alton got squirrely. That might open the door for Luce to try a crossover. Dive bombing Kyle Lang into turn 1.
He's making a big bid for it. Lang got wide through the corner and has a monster run down the back straightaway. but Luce, the preferred line, getting to the inside and looking to retake that top spot as we race down to 8 laps to go. They're door panel to door panel into turn number 1. Give it to Luce coming through.
Yeah, Jaden Luce, great move there. Got it done. Kyle Lang's now going to have to try to make a run back, but Cole Alton's going to make that tough. Here comes the freight train we were talking about, and Kyle Lang now is the unfortunate car shuffled out to the top side. Cole Alton might have a bid for the lead as the big run down into the Zaretsky line. We'll see how long that can hold. Luce trying to defend. Wagger's come alongside Lang. 4 cars vying for the lead.
Wow, what a great battle. Throw a blanket over them, and there's more coming in behind them. If Lang doesn't get off the top, he could be in gigantic trouble as that inside line stretches 6 cars deep. You saw Luce pedal back to the bottom of the speedway when he beat Alton through 3 and 4. So it's Luce back to the lead. Alton trying to keep Lang strung up on the high side, and that will get packed in there. Wager, Jacobson, and Moore trying to make their way in through. There's Bliven with the bold move. Whoa, Rob gets a little squirrely.
Maybe a bit too bold.
Bliven's had a really good race, though, so give him some credit. There was Lang looking for opportunity to get low, but Wager denies him as he goes after third down the front straightaway. Just 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go, and a thrilling legend feature.
Yeah, that's a huge part of the points battle. If Wager can cover off Kyle Lang, does here. Now Davis Jacobson might have a bid trying to get down low on the 33. Blivens and Nelson are tailing around the back. Is that Piper Alton? No, yes, Piper Alton's also hanging off the black of Blivens. Whoa, Kyle Lang gets down low on Braden Wager. Little crossover. Wager might try to do the same back to him.
Wager doesn't have quite the run, though, coming off of turn number 2. The action hot here in the INEX Legends. And this main event brought to you by Gene Johnson, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. As we've got one off the course, it is Jeremiah Johnson's 13 and the 86. Piloting him back there, also under caution flag conditions. So we'll take a second, we'll reset, we'll catch our breath because a lot happened in that little 8-lap run. A lot of position changes, but as we get back to it, Jaden Luce right on point once again.
And we will start them side by side still. So Cole Alton, Jaden Luce, Wager and Lang, row 2, Jacobson, Nelson, Blivens, Alton. Those cars all jockeying. Whoa, big, getting really checked up. These cars side by side, not wanting to give anyone an inch. We go green, and it'll be a 3-lap shootout. Jaden Luce trying to defend. Whoa, Lang got high up the track. Wow. Nelson and Alton, we're 4 wide.
There's incredible stuff happening all over this field. As you see Luce get back out to the lead. Wager going to settle into second. That's going to be huge for his points here. And in the 3rd spot, Cole Alton with Jacobson now battling with Lang for position number 4 down in the very nitty-gritty. Bliven up there. Samantha Schwartz trying to rally back forward in an incredibly entertaining INEX Legends main event. We're coming to the white flag one more time around. Haven't even had time to mention Chad Bennett, late model racer of days past out in this field. Nice to see Chad out there, the son of legendary Northwest announcer Ron Bennett, as they make their way through the corner. And this one is done. Jaden Luce wins the war for the W. Wager 2, Alton in the 3rd spot. Let's go to the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium and talk to him.
Cole, 3rd place finish tonight. It was a tight battle between you and Jaden throughout the entire race. You think without the caution, maybe you would have had a run?
Maybe. Hard to say, but we had a good car tonight, so yeah, took the podium.
Hey, you certainly put on a good show, battling it out neck and neck throughout those races. Who helps you get out here?
I'd like to thank my mom, dad, aunt, uncle, and Straight Alignment, and Tristan for coming out and spotting for me.
Driver the number 09, Cole Alton, 3rd place tonight. Did a good job there piloting the 30B. I know it was a real stack up and a real chaotic restart there. How'd you make your way to 2nd?
I don't know. I was just holding on the bottom farther than everyone else, trying to find the best rubber line I could, cranking on my brake bias a little bit. The track was changing all the time, all the day, but I had a few cars on my back bumper. It was pushing me straight, but I did the best to hold on to it.
I know you got sponsors on that car who help you get it out here. Who are they?
Francesca and Colin King, Dirt Cheap Sewers, Pacific Street Rods, Purcell, Central Welding Supply, Countryman Signs, DeYoung Inc., Elevate Race Media, Turno Media, Just KV Media, my mom, my dad.
The 30B, Braden Wager, is second place tonight. All right, Jaden, we talked 2 weeks ago about how it felt to get the first win. Now you defend it back to back. Hold off Cole, you hold off Braden, you hold off Kyle Lang, the points leader. What is that like?
It feels great. I love racing those guys, Braden, Cole, Kyle. It's amazing racing those guys, and I'm feeling pumped.
We've seen this car come to life over these past few weeks. You excited to finish off this season on such a high note?
Yeah, for sure. My rookie year, it took me a while to get it, and thanks to help from Braden with lines and stuff like that, I'm starting to get it.
And who would you like to thank for getting this 19 out here?
My dad, my mom, and Ricky Arnold, and my sister.
Driver of the number 19, Jaden Luce, is a back-to-back Legends winner.
Jaden Luce with a deuce now in the win column. Well done, Jaden. We move forward. It's the Tire Pros Street Stocks, always eventful for their 30-lap A main event. And your lineup looks like this.
They're led out tonight by the 27 of Jerry Helm out of Green Bank, sponsored by Tiger Construction. He'll start alongside the 7 of Renton's own Mike Shimmick, sponsored by Big Block Brewing.
Row number 2, Steve Potasic, the feature winner of the year from Bothell. Lang Auto Sports sponsors the 06. Next to him, it is the 3 of Jesse Jensen out of Snohomish Tire Pros, the shop out of Arlington.
The 44 is Andrew Rivas, sponsored by Monroe O'Reilly's. Starting alongside the 85, Jim Fody, sponsored by Trademark RCS.
It's the 22 of Kenny Erickson out of Tulalip, sponsored by Central Welding. And next to him, Chase Jones from Duval, the Whisper Cool number 14.
The 69 tonight is Austin Camp out of Monroe, sponsored by Millburg. And the 72, Brian Thornburrows out of Arlington, sponsored by Omni Contracting Solutions.
10 cars, 30 laps for this one. You know the story of the town of Green Bank, where Jerry Helm's from, right, Ben?
I do not.
Yeah, the town of Blue Bank and Yellow Bank got together and decided to make Green Bank.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense.
Indeed. Points battle coming into this main event for the Street Stocks. I believe our points leader starts 9th in this one?
Yes, that is the case. Austin Camp. The 69, which if you look at it carefully, it's out of shot at the moment. Doesn't quite, there it is. Doesn't quite look like the 69. That is because it is not, kind of.
He had to repossess the 96 for some racing tonight, eh?
Correct. It is a beautiful duct tape 69 on the side of it, but you have to do what you have to do when you are the points leader coming into the race, trying to salvage whatever he can. If he can move his way up through this field enough and Steve Potasic and Jesse Jensen don't run away with this race, there's a good chance he may still be the points leader at the end of the night.
Well, we've had 2 guys cross the checkered flag first all year long, and that has been Potasic and Jensen. So they haven't necessarily won every race, but they've crossed the finish line first in all of them.
That's correct.
As we roll the green flag, we're underway, and it will be Shimmick taking the early lead in the 7, but Jesse Jensen, for once, not buried in like row 4 or 5 and right on the outside and threatening already.
Yeah, not wasting any time. Steve Potasic so far starting slower than maybe Jesse Jensen has, but making that outside lane work. That 3 car has oh so much speed. Whipping around Mike Shimmick. He's gone. The lead, Jesse Jensen. Here comes Steve Potasic, though. Quickly trying to move this field. Again, we'll be on Austin Camp watch most of the night as some contact between Shimmick and Potasic.
Just a little itty-bitty and not even enough to get Shimmick's car, wiggling, but it was there as Potasic has raced his way into 2, and there's Fody, the big motor 85, trying to work his way forward on Helm, the 27.
Oh, we got real close there with Helm in the 27, but right now, Jensen and Potasic, and then a gap back there. And we're trying to see where Austin Camp is in this picture. Again, having to repossess a car, trying to do whatever he can to keep his points lead tonight. And again, this one's coming down to the wire as well. The Street Stocks have been very competitive. 20, 25 points separate Jensen, Potasic, and Camp for the championship coming down to the final couple races.
So you keep your eyes out for Camp. We'll watch your lead 2 on the left screen and the in-car with Steve Potasic on the right screen while we tell you Tire Pros is the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop tire retailer where honesty is the best policy, and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to TirePros.com.
Looking on board with Steve Potasic, trying to run down the Tire Pros sponsored car of Jesse Jensen in front of him. A big gap has opened up to Mike Shimmick in 3rd, so It's going to be the usual suspects up front, I think, tonight so far. We'll see if maybe a caution can reel these two back into the field at some point.
The Ptacek car is really fast, and Jensen's a little loose. And that's especially weird for this early in the races. There goes Steve bidding for the bottom. Underneath the white he goes to get the line on the inside of Jesse. And for the top spot, Ptacek's got a nose on him going into the third turn, coming off the corner. Depending on how 3 exits the top of 4, give it to Steve Ptacek, your now early leader.
Yeah, Ptacek making the move quickly. Jensen might try to stick the nose down low and get back into this battle. Still alongside Ptacek. Ptacek's not clear, is now. And Steve Ptacek cleared Jesse Jensen into the lead. Yeah, that 3 car. Ooh, yeah, getting loose off of 4. Unusual for the Tire Pros 3.
Yeah, and you know, considering how good Ptacek has been, and take nothing away from the 3 team, because mechanically they're nearly always perfect, but it is odd to see them just a hair off on the race car here. Now, Jesse's a good driver. He can make up for a lot within the seat, but as good as Ptacek has been, Steve actually opening things up a little bit on Jesse. We'll watch and see how this race develops. A lot of laps left to go here in the Tire Pros Street Stocks. More of their main event coming up next here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Tire Pros Street Stocks are on the track here on Home Track Heroes. Steve Ptacek maintaining a lead in the 0-6 over Jesse Jensen in the 3 car. Glad to have you guys in here with us as we thank Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical for their support all year long. Ben, this advantage is not really waxing, not really waning, just maintaining here over the last few laps.
Yeah, Jesse Jensen has closed by a couple tenths of a second and then lost by a couple tenths of a second as we go by each lap. So we'll see. The 3 car was loose. Early in this race, you can see how loose it seems there through 4. We'll see if maybe that continues to plague Jesse Jensen, or maybe as Steve Ptacek starts to get maybe a little looser as this race goes on, or maybe Jensen finds what he's looking for. You know, both these cars are incredibly fast, so it's not out the realm of possibility that Jensen can run down Ptacek. But right now, Steve Ptacek's on a leisurely Sunday drive.
Given the tire packages that they are on, you don't hear about these drivers, and especially in a 30-lap race, talking much about tire growth, tire wear, etc. They kind of roll out and roll in on something very similar to what they normally have. So if Jensen's loose right now, he would be hoping that tires grow to reduce the stagger potentially that what he's got going on and tighten the thing up, whatever it is that he's looking for. But again, can't really bank on that in the street stocks, especially considering that the sun's now gone down and the track is starting to cool off.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Right now, I think Jesse Jensen just might need a caution to come out to bank this field back up. But even then, he'd be starting on the outside of Steve Ptacek up front. We are on Austin Camp watch still. Our points leader is further back in the field. He's made his way up till 8th. He's working on Kenny Erickson for 7th. Right now, that is the points battle to watch. Is can Austin Camp continue to make his way through this field and keep his points lead?
If he ends up finishing deep, there's a very real chance with Ptacek leading this thing right now that Steve might jump to the top spot.
That's a very real possibility, and there's an even higher possibility that Jesse Jensen could, if he maintains 2nd, jump Steve Ptacek. As Jensen a couple weeks ago, Ptacek, unfortunately, disqualification cost him some points, but Jensen just finished further in that back, had an incident that cost him, but still finished the race. So Jensen currently sits in front of Ptacek points-wise.
Okay, so we'll keep our eyes on that as, again, time is running out. We've got 11 laps left, 19 down. Camp is in 8th, and we'll monitor him as we can keep on going as your leader puts a lap on Thornborough in the 72, 10 to go. 2/3 of the race down, and just 10 more laps around. So,
yeah, we'll see. Ptacek again, clean air, open racetrack. Just continue to hit your lines and continue to wheel that highlighter 06. Interesting paint scheme for, you could say, for Steve Ptacek. Straight down the middle, the neon colors on opposite side. I've heard some of our photographer friends, some of the great photographers we have here at Evergreen, be like, "You get a good photo of that yellow car?" And he goes, "No, I haven't seen a yellow car. I have these photos of this orange car at certain times." But it looks great on track, and it looks great as he turns laps continuing to be in the lead here.
It covers the easy for the announcer to identify policy, which is always important for you
Absolutely, absolutely. We thank Steve Potasic for making his car easy to see day or night.
That's right. It films well, too. Looks good here on the Seattle 11 cameras.
It does. It looks good as it turns these laps. As he takes the line, we're under a heat race to go. Austin Camp has not made his way any farther forward. Again, not in his usual car. Had to commandeer a car defending from Chase Jones. Jesse Jensen is, again, gained a little, lost a little each time by. Has not found, I think, the gain over the course of a few laps that he needs to potentially get Steve Potasic. This one might hold, depending on caution.
He would have to start picking up over a tenth a lap, like right now with Jesse at this point. And he is just far enough back that you would imagine it's going to happen, but you never know. Never say never, never in Speedway. Stranger things have happened, especially with two cars racing for position ahead of him. One of them being Camp, who is trying to get by. Is that Jones in the 14?
That is.
Sure is. He's got the inside line, so Camp trying to move to 7th, but if Potasic can lap him and even cost him that spot, get Jones back around him, it's almost a 2-for-1. There it goes. Potasic down low. And from where he came in, that gives Jones a real shot at retaking 7th down the back straightaway.
Yeah, these two squabbling it out. Best battle on track is your points leader, Austin Camp, and Chase Jones. Unfortunately put down a lap by Steve Potasic. Not usual car for Camp, and he's been lagging towards the back. But right now, yep, Jones has jumped Austin Camp. So Austin Camp, that's a couple points lost, and those sting when everything has not gone your way today already.
I almost spoke that into existence, didn't I?
Just maybe slightly.
I Nostradamus to that one. Coming up and trying to lap Kenny Erickson now with 2 to go as Jensen starts working on the slower traffic as well. This one looks to be Potasic's as he will circle around through the 3rd and 4th corner and should take the white flag here in just a matter of a couple of seconds. Jensen going to look to get by Camp as well, as we've got 1 to go here in the street stock main.
Yeah, one more. Steve Potasic has not been challenged, I'd say, so far today. We'll take a look at where this takes us points-wise as well, as Steve Potasic will come around 3, and out of 4 to take the checkered flag and the win to Steve Potasic. And when everything shakes out as these racers cross the line, he'll be 7 points back of Jesse Jensen going into the next street stock event.
Big shakeup. So Jensen now leads Potasic and then Camp. As let's talk to your winners down the podium.
Mike, you had a long green flag run today. 3rd place tonight. How does it feel to be up on the podium?
It feels great being back again up here, racing with some of the best guys out here. It was really fun. I want to thank all the fans for coming out and supporting us. It's what drives us and makes us out here.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here tonight?
Want to thank Big Block Brewing and Brandy Hood Productions.
Or let's give it a 3rd place tonight, the 7, Mike Shimmick. Jesse, tough battle tonight. What more did you need to maybe catch Steve in those closing laps?
My car was just too free. His car was way better than mine from the center off, and good job to them. I mean, his car was good, and it was fun. Kind of dicing it up a little bit there through lap traffic. It's never a dull moment with the street stocks.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get at the 3 car?
Dirk and Kristen Cruiswick, foremost, for letting me drive their race car. Rob, Jeff, Randall, all the guys that worked their butts off in this car. Tire Pros, Arlington, Fast Eddies, all great supporters, and we couldn't do it without them.
Or let's give it up. 2nd place tonight, the 3 car, Jesse Jensen. Steve, a long green flag run, but once you took the lead, you didn't look back, and now you'll sit atop the point standings with 2 to go.
Man, I don't know. This is a long day, a long 2 weeks. You know, a lot of things happened, and all you gotta do is keep fighting, and hopefully we'll end up in the right spot.
Yeah, that 06 was fast tonight. What's the secret to getting out in front and staying in front?
Man, honestly, it's consistency. Like everybody out here, you try to help them, and you gotta be consistent. Hit your marks. That's the biggest thing. It's constantly hit your marks. If you miss up, it turns into 3 feet. So thanks for Lang Autosports.
Let's give it up. Your winner tonight, the 06, Steve Potasic.
Congratulations, Steve Potasic, getting the W there. We have got our second of the Central Welding late model 50-lap main events coming up. Let's roll them onto the track right now. 8 invert for the field. We'll put Caden Holm on the pole, the Johansson Mechanical K9, Adam Monroe, and Jeff Knight right next to him. Adam Monroe, the Nitrous Ranch and Cattle, number 70.
The 7D of Dawson Cox out of Arlington, sponsored by Busch Light, is on row 2 with Chad Fitzpatrick in the 12C out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Trademark RCS.
Row number 3, Colton Price out of Everett, the Northwest Boiler number 14. And Haley Constance's 78 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Joe's Racing Products.
The 18, Nema Lang out of Linwood, sponsored by J&R Truck Rentals, excuse me. We'll start alongside the 3 of Wyatt Gardner out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Edwards Construction.
5th and final row is Chase Gardner out of Snohomish, the Quality Towing 32. And Mike Marthaler in the 2 out of Everett, the Direct Carpet Cleaning and Restoration car. So, the second 50-lap feature coming up here. Main event number 1, if you're just tuning in, went to Wyatt Gardner, followed by Nema Lang and Haley Constance. That was your top 3 in main number 1. A lot of interesting storylines to find out. And a big 8 invert after main event number 1. Wyatt started outside row number 3, so now he's going to have a little bit further to come in this one if he wants to get the job done.
Yeah, he's going to have to make his way through 8, or I believe 6 or 7 cars. This Nema Lang will have the inside. We shall see. The lights are off the Speedway Chevrolet pace car, so we'll have 1 to go. The K9, Caden Holm, and the 70 of Jeff Knight up front. Wyatt Gardner, Nema Lang, Haley Constance, your podium in race 1. They're going to have to make their way through the field if they want to find the podium in race 2.
And this is huge again for season championship points, as we do not have an abundance of points nights left to go for these guys and girls. So they got to pick up every point every time they are on the racetrack. No heat races for these drivers either. It is main event and main event only as we go to green, and Holm takes out your early lead.
Yeah, Caden Holm jumping out. Dawson Cox making the low line quickly up into second. Jeff Knight pushed up high. Colton Price running down the inside. Colton Price had an early run that first race in the 14. We'll see if maybe he can replicate something in this one. Gets into third. Nema Lang charging quickly. Here comes the 18. Jeff Knight closes the door on Lang, however. Doesn't want to give up that spot too quickly. Fitzpatrick side by side with Lang. Maybe Fitzpatrick's got the high side working in the 12.
You don't see Chad up in the outside groove by choice all that often. He's trying to make it work. Meanwhile, Dawson Cox in the 7 car. That car coming alive as he'll take the lead, coming right across the nose of Holm down the back straightaway. Dawson Cox just a few laps into this, and let's watch the 7 car, see what he has got for this field as he's currently in the top spot.
Yeah, you can see some sparks fly off the back of that 7D at times, running so low to the ground when these cars hit a little bit of a bump. Sometimes you'll see that, those sparks fly, something scraping the racetrack, but Jeff Knight, Chad Fitzpatrick using him almost like a pick, keeping Nema Lang and Wyatt Gardner behind him. Right now, Dawson Cox, Caden Holm, Colton Price, followed by Fitzpatrick, Knight, and Lang. Good battle up, everyone moving positions. Constance trying to get around Wyatt Gardner further back. You can see them side by side.
Constance running the Central Welding wrap for the weekend. Central Welding, Central Welding Supply's mission of excellent service hasn't changed since 1975. Local ownership, larger inventory, and expert staff makes a difference at 27 locations. Find one near you at centralwelding.com.
Constance trying to make the move. Gardner does get around, however. Now he's going to look to make the move on Lang.
Boy, you see the flame coming out of the Constance 78 card there at times, and that much flame. She's running really rich at the moment. That's something to bear eyeballs on as this race continues and gets a little bit longer. There's that little flame coming out of the Knight 70 cars. They go 3 wide. Lang down on the bottom, Knight the middle. Oh, we have got some bumping and moving. Constance is going to get to the inside, shuffle Wyatt back a position.
Yeah, big checkup there. I think Wyatt Gardner, just being the last car back, kind of, did the right thing. Checked up, didn't, no contact, I think, between Knight and Gardner, but that sucks when Wyatt Gardner was looking to move early.
Well, and you look at it, too. Wyatt making that decision while running in about the 8th spot right now, just wrote himself a check with many, many thousands of dollars on it by not hurting his race car in that opportunity. Still a lot of race left for him to move forward as we're only coming in on 10 laps into it.
Yeah, we take a look towards the front. Colton Price, Chad Fitzpatrick trying to run down the K9 of Caden Holm. Caden Holm started up front, lost the spot to Dawson Cox, but it's just turning laps, hitting the spot, and showing a lot of speed in that K9 early here, holding off Price and Fitzpatrick, both of them previous winners, previous championships behind the K9 of Caden Holm.
Yeah, Holm looking very strong in the second position. Got something figured out here for this second 50-lapper. There goes Fitzpatrick, former Terry Halverson car that he picked up after his first one got hurt fairly badly. And to the bottom of turn number 3, there goes Chad as they go side by side. Just a bit squirrely, though, and can't complete the pass on Price. Price gets the reprieve and brings it back down to the bottom groove to hold third for now.
And who's that third car entering in the picture? Oh, it's Naima Lang.
No way.
No way. Naima Lang moving his way forward, getting involved in this picture. Says, I could go for another double podium night. Never can have too many double podium nights.
Makes the bank account look a lot better, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Naima Lang's trying to get involved in this battle. Colton Price defending third from Fitzpatrick. Lang just hanging off the rear there right now, but again, Caden Holm's going to be the benefactor of this squabbling as Fitzpatrick finally has a run on the inside.
Looks like Price, again, maybe just a hair loose. You see the back end of that car stepping out on him as he gets into the throttle coming off the corner from the in-car of Colton and having to really work that steering wheel coming off turn number 4 to hang on to her. Back to 4th goes Price, Lang in 5th. Going to find his way forward on the rest of the field, and now Gardner up and in behind him.
Yeah, I wonder what Price is fighting really in that thing. Lang might try to move. Oh, there's Wyatt Gardner. But I don't really know what's happened to Haley Constance in this picture. She was running right with Lang and Gardner as Lang gets down the inside of Colton Price here. Gardner will look to follow. I'm not sure where the 78 has fallen off to, Caleb.
Well, I'll tell you this much. The 78 is no longer within your top 10 of the ticker, so I believe 78 is either dead last or pulled off, one or the other. And again, with the flame that we had seen coming out of the 78 car for a couple of seconds, it wouldn't surprise me if Haley's race is all over, at least for right now.
Yeah, tough break for the 78. Showed a lot of speed in the late part of the race, and that first one was probably going to come alive again. As Price trying to make things difficult for Lang and for Gardner, trying to keeping the car planted on the high line, making it work for now. Although Lang's going to have a good run out of 2, and then the speed machine of Wyatt Gardner's trying to follow behind.
Good strategy from Gardner again. Let Naima punch the hole, see if he can follow on through. Just like that, Naima's got the spot, and they are number to number for the position behind them. Gardner with the advantage off the bottom. Forrest Price to stay up in that middle groove.
Yeah, tough race there. Colton Price, second time he's going to see those two cars slip around him, but has a lot of speed, a lot of race less. Do not count Colton Price out of this thing. But now these two cars that have passed him are going to have to boogie up to get towards the front 3. As we take a look, there's your leader, Dawson Cox. We talk about Sunday strolls. Whatever Dawson Cox has found, that 70 is gone from these cars behind him. And pending maybe a caution or some fade, he might just stay that way.
I got a chance to talk to the crew, albeit very briefly, and while telling me nothing, they said if I told you I'd have to kill you. But I understand that it was one specific area of the car they went to work on in between this races, and whatever they found has just brought it completely to life again. Brand new triple adjustable shock package underneath that car on all 4 corners, so you get an abundance of ways to adjust and make things happen differently on it. And whatever it was, combined with the new shocks they have found, my goodness, does that bring that thing to complete life as he is streaking away from this field. And we're sitting here watching the battle for 4th between Lang and Gardner and being highly entertained by it.
Yeah, Dawson Cox keeping his hot streak alive. Talk about Dawson Cox has a win on every single racing surface that Evergreen has to offer except for, we believe, the 5-8 oval. Has a 3-8 win, has a 1/5 win, has a figure 8 win. Dawson Cox can get in a car and win. And right now he's doing that as Wyatt Gardner's trying to battle, comes alongside Naima Lang.
But has he won in a monster truck?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
We'll answer that maybe when we come back, as we've got more of your Pro Late Model main event coming up next on Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Back to action here on Home Track Heroes with the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models out and on the track. Wyatt Gardner has gotten by Naima Lang during our commercial break as we continue moving forward here on this one, over halfway. 23 laps to go for our second of the Central Welding Twin 50s here on the night. And Ben, Dawson Cox, wow, That car just a rocket ship right now.
Yeah, Dawson Cox has taken off and not looked back. He may have even started that car from Cape Canaveral. I don't think it would have mattered.
Indeed.
Dawson Cox is just running away. Caden Holm, a respectable second place, keeping that K9 there. Chad Fitzpatrick runs third, and Wyatt Gardner, well, we know that car's a rocket ship in its own right. Might try to run down Fitzpatrick or Holm here in these closing 21 laps.
Let's see what he can do as you're taking a look. The Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model Division. Visit Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center in Monroe for your customized trucks, lift trucks, work trucks. Speedway Chevrolet can locate the truck that fits you best. Battle for second is on. Fitzpatrick's up on the back of Caden Holm here and putting some pressure on him for that runner-up position.
Yeah, a lot of speed developing in that 12. Late race coming to life. You know, Chad's talked about it. I've heard him talk about it. They're still shaking that car out. They're honest. Like, hey, we're still trying to figure this thing out. It's brand new to us, and you know they've been trying to find as many tracks and as many races as they can to run in that thing to figure it out. But I think he's figuring out something here as he's trying to run down Caden Holm. And oh, well, there's the big bad number 3 also appearing into our picture.
Right. This is night 3, quote, event number 4, essentially, as they got the car, put it together, took it to a practice day. They learned some stuff. Took it over, tried to run it over at Wenatchee, had to learn some more stuff in the process, and now 2 nights here at Evergreen. And boy, getting faster, but he's in a precarious position. He's run down Holm. He wants second. But Wyatt Gardner's right on his tail for third.
Yeah, we talk about this was the Nema Lang sandwich in the first race. It's a Chad Fitzpatrick sandwich in this one. Caden Holm's doing everything he can to play defense, but Wyatt Gardner's going to creep out to that outside line. He likes to tip outside, then he's going to zip back down inside and carry that speed into turn 1 and 2. That's how he likes to make the move we've seen. He'll get a little wide and then use that good run out of the even turns. Let's try to run down these cars in front of him.
Almost like he's driving downhill.
Yeah.
Turn number 1 when he comes off that corner. It's got that much velocity to it. As let's go inside. This is from Fitzpatrick's point of view, the Brandy Hood promotion shot. As he's got a nice run to the inside of Holm here. If he can get the nose all the way down in the corner, but Caden gets down in time to keep him low. Meanwhile, Wyatt's going to take a look up high, and Holm is in just enough of both of those lanes that it's going to be Gardner who ends up with that big swing around 1 and 2 to make the pass.
Yeah, there it is. Wyatt Gardner finally found the line that worked. We knew that 3 had a lot of speed, but here we go. This will be the question. 13 laps. How much speed does that 3 have? Can it run down Dawson Cox?
Cox is a long ways out in front of him. We're going to still get a front row seat here for the battle for what is now third between Holm and the white with orange K9 and the blue, orange, and yellow, number 12 of Chad Fitzpatrick again from the cockpit on the right-hand side of the car. And Chad, that car's looking nice for him. His hands are nice and steady inside the cockpit.
Yeah, not having to make a lot of small adjustments. It's hitting its line, it's sticking. So it's that perfect adjustment. That's probably right where Chad wants it. Nema Lang starting to creep up into this battle for third as well. You can see him charging hard behind Fitzpatrick, but it's a good in-car shot as we see a lot of Caden Holm's bumper. That must mean good things for Chad Fitzpatrick, as he might have a run or a move here. That 12 is, they've been learning so much about that car as we've talked about. Here he comes, gets a good inside run outside of 4. Chad Fitzpatrick will run down into 1. Does he have enough to get around Caden Holm? Keeps the car planted. Caden Holm might try the crossover, but I don't think it's enough. I think this might go to Chad Fitzpatrick.
That really speaks to the consistency of the Fitzpatrick car. He had been coming off just a hair lower than Caden lap after lap, and finally got the right combination of his own drive plus Holm getting just a little too wide. And there we go. Fitzpatrick up and into the final podium position here in his new car. There is your leader, and there's second place Wyatt Gardner there. So, yep, there's a lap car in between them at the moment. As Fitzpatrick in third, a long ways back from trying to catch up to those guys. For fourth now, Lang up on Holm, looking to advance 1 spot also.
Yeah, Nema Lang is sitting second place in the points, so all these points matter. It's going to maybe be a bit more of an outside run for Nema Lang to capture another title. Wyatt Gardner's looking pretty good, but a lot can change over the course of one race. Every point matters. I'm sure Nema Lang would love to get around the K9 of Caden Holm here and secure a couple more.
Strange things happen all the time here at Evergreen Speedway as Lang's going to swing wide down the front straightaway with 6 to go. and see if he can drive around the outside of home off of turn number 2. This time not happening. He'll tuck back in for a second, and then big push at the center corner there. It's going to cost him a little bit of track space.
Yeah, that move did not quite work there, but great battle. Again, big props to Caden Holmes. Been using the opportunity, been running up front most of this race, and has been putting together a great race. Got passed by a couple of faster cars, but Caden Holmes really putting a good shift here in the K9, defending a former 8-time champion in Renee Malang.
Caden's got the speed. We know that. He's getting the experience. Just needs that one night for it to all come together, and it's going to be a big party in victory lane for him.
Oh, and it'll come.
Dad, and the crew.
It'll come. We know it'll come for Caden Holmes. That car is fast. He's a good driver, and it is starting to come together for that crew.
Mom, dad, fiance, and the crew. I would be, I'd be in trouble. Caden, of course, always wants to thank the fiance Harley.
Yeah, that's sweet, as you should.
That's right.
Well, here we are. There's our leader, and there's Wyatt Gardner. That gap has closed, but I don't think it's going to be enough, Caleb. He's got to find a lot of speed here with only 2 laps to go.
Yeah, and the 3/8 mile, that is a very short couple of trips around. As in just a couple of seconds, we're going to be saying your leader takes the white flag. One more time around for Dawson Cox, who has had a whale on a second feature here tonight. And he's going to roll off a turn number 2 down the back straight for the final time and look for another Pro Late Model main event win for the Busch Light Bandit.
I think the Busch Light Bandit will have it. With Wyatt Gardner, I think maybe needed just a couple more laps. Boom, there it is, checkered flag. Dawson Cox. Wyatt Gardner comes home second, and Chad Fitzpatrick wins the run back for third. Caden Holmes came home fourth, and Nema Lang round out your top 5.
So this ought to be fun here on Home Track Heroes, brought to you by Gene Johnson, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Dawson Cox has been known to be a big celebrator. And let's see, he is pulling into the middle, I will bet you. Oh yeah, here we go. He's going to light him up. Who needs tires anyways? Tires are evil. They are to be punished. Smoke show in and around the figure 8 course, which we will show you a little bit of racing action on. Coming up after this, we have got our Angel Winds Casino Resort podium interviews with your top 3 and Dawson Cox.
Chad, third place tonight. Just quickly walk us through the journey from Galloway to here.
Let me just say it was an expensive journey. I can't thank my crew, my dad, Dave, all of them. They spent countless hours trying to get this car done. We had some issues at Wenatchee last week. We have some issues tonight, but we know what to do looking forward. But this car has a lot of potential. I just can't thank everyone.
And who do you want to thank specifically again for helping you get out?
I want to thank my sponsors, Powder Coated Ink, Mazda of Everett, Trademark RCS 1611, Snohomish Co-op, Bardol, Fastenal, Auto Be There Inc. And like I said, the fans that come out, my crew, they work their asses off.
Let's give it up. Third place tonight, Chad Fitzpatrick. Wyatt, more consistency, excuse me. Another podium. How good does it feel to be on the podium twice in the Twin 50s?
Oh, fantastic. Just needed a few more laps there. I was throwing everything I could at him and trying to make up as much ground as possible, but you know, with these big inverts, it's tough to get through traffic quick, and I found a good little shortcut over there that baked up a little bit of ground, but just ran out of time.
And who do you want to thank for helping to get out here?
Yeah, Pacific Lighting Systems, Edwards Construction, Armed Forces, Pump Industries, DeYoung Inc., Resch Printing, Great White Checker Media, Grand American Race Cars. These guys do a great job. All my guys, Wade, Corey, Rob, Jason, Jimmy, Gene, my girlfriend, Mom, and just one more trophy we can put in the case and dedicate to Dad. And I don't really look at points, but we should have a decent lead to going into championship night to hopefully lock this thing up.
All right, let's give it up. Second place, the 3-car Wyatt Gardner. All right, Dawson, it was a win on Figure 8 Nationals, a top 5 in the Summer Showdown 200, and now a win at the Central Welding Twin 50s. Just walk me through, how good is the car feeling and how are you feeling?
I'm going to be honest, this is the least I've raced since I started when I was like 14. And it's honestly been a lot of fun. You know, I've showed up and I've done exceptionally good at a lot of races that I probably shouldn't have. So the luck, and then, I mean, we kind of lucked in tonight. We got a good initial start. Wyatt was definitely faster than us at the end, and it showed. I was just counting laps. I'm like, please, hurry, 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 no cautions. So we got that. That was awesome. But it's been a really cool season just to kind of take a step back and just do what we want to do, and we've been having a lot of fun. So got to thank everybody that helped me today. Lauren, Eugene, my dad, Jesse for some setup advice. It definitely worked. We made it here. So huge thanks to the sponsors, Busch and Anheuser, appreciate everything you guys do for us, and hopefully we can get you some more moving forward.
And Dawson, you don't get to go away quite yet. We have a ridiculously large check for you to sign. Here's the Sharpie. Winner of $2,500, and the second $150, the 70, Dawson Cox. All right. Yep.
Big smile from Dawson Cox there as he does remember how to write his own name. That's impressive. Well done, Dawson. Takes home some money as well. Congratulations on the win. It's time for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure 8 17-car 30-lap A main event, and your pole sitter Chevy Vincent. Car number 45 out of Darrington, sponsored by Homegrown Hair Studio. Outside of him, welcome back the Grizz in his own car, the 01 of Doug Delfell out of Everett, the Mazda of Everett machine.
We look to row 2, where we see the 43 of Sheridan Vincent out of Darrington, sponsored by Siskin Power Equipment. Starting alongside the 68 tonight of Blaine Manning out of Marysville, sponsored by Be Happy Carpet Cleaning.
Row number 3 is Guy Litz, the 88 car out of Bothell, sponsored by Protocol Plumbing and Sewer. And next to him, Mackenzie Dietz in the 67 out of Monroe, sponsored by BECU.
Out of Arlington, the 72 is Jeff Talbert, sponsored by Pilchuck Heating. And the 66 of Rick Jones out of Linwood, sponsored by Winter Speed Shop in Berrien.
Row number 5, Aaron Flood out of Tacoma, the Kit Collision Center 98. And Big Bird, Robert Weldon, the 63 out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing LLC.
We take a look at the 76S of Chris Southard out of Everett, sponsored by All Solved Plumbing. And the 17X, Rick Yargis is out of Stanwood, sponsored by McCarthy General Contractor.
The row behind them, the JE55 spells Jess. Jessica Wilkinson out of Marysville. Pilchuck Heating and Air Conditioning sponsors that car. Bill Fleischacker next to her in the 36 out of Duval, sponsored by Papa's Bar in Monroe.
The 5 is the One-Armed Bandit of Quentin Borenson out of Aberdeen, sponsored by Mary's Towing. Starting alongside the 8 car, Jacob Funk out of Mill Creek. And the 369 of Tasha Dunn out of Sultan, sponsored by Painted Raven Farm, rounds out the cars in this field.
Yeah, 17 of the Super Stock Figure 8s here on the course for 30 laps, and you know that means we're going to have a very intense intersection at points in time during the race, depending on how it breaks out. Could be from the very early portions all through the end, as rarely on a full field are you going to get clean runs through the X.
Yeah, we will go green, and we will see how long it takes for the intersection to become sizzling hot. Right now, the 01, Doug Delfell, teaching the young gun how to drive and how to do it. Doug Delfell in his 50th year of racing. Chevy Vincent, the young gun, is rookie year in the class. An advantage to the Grizz.
I was going to say, 5 decades versus almost a year. Yeah, I think the Grizz is in pretty good shape here as he leads lap number 1. Vincent 2. Vincent battling with Manning for position number 3. Give it to Manning as they make the right-hand turn, or the south pole. You'll hear us call it both over the course of this. This is the left-hand set of corners or the north pole. So that is the delineation there on the figure 8 track.
Yeah, this is how it lines up. Sheridan Vincent's trying to move his way forward. The points battle is intense in the Super Stock Figure 8s if we take a look at it. To your leader, Quentin Borison, starts near the back of the field tonight in that 5 car. He leads by essentially what we believe to be about 15 points or so from Sheridan Vincent and Mackenzie Dietz, who are both tied behind him. So 15 points, 3 cars. One of them's going to win a championship at the end of this whole thing.
And here's the thing. You're never safe in this division,
No.
right? No matter how many points you might be leading from, you're one intersection cross away from a DNF at any point in time within the racetrack. So you have got to continue to race hard, race aggressive, and be able to pick your spots and getting through there, and probably just have the right amount of good luck in the process of doing it to win this title. As you can see a couple of drivers already checking up, and ooh, daddy, that got close. Manning ends up getting past Vincent in the intersection. Blaine Manning's got second now and is trying to chase down Doug Delfell out front.
Yeah, Tasha Dunn in the middle of that infield there in the North Pole. We'll see maybe Blaine Manning up at the second. We'll see maybe Chevy Vincent runs some fullback for Sheridan Vincent.
Nice.
So, Chevy was off at football camp, I know, earlier this year. That was one of the substitutions he used, but we'll see if he runs lead blocker for Sheridan. As I know Sheridan's in that points battle right now with for the season championship, and well, look at the luck of that to have your son and teammates right out in front of you.
I called Darrington football a couple of years ago. I don't remember them employing a fullback, but whatever. We'll see if that's changed.
I have no idea what position Chevy plays. I should say that, but.
Well, he can identify as whatever position he wants to. We're good with that.
Absolutely.
As they make their way through the right-hand corner, things have tightened up on Delfell. As look at him, too wide through the intersection. That gets awfully, awfully dangerous. As Captain Chaos, the 8 of Jacob Funk, just barely clears Robert Weldon. Out there racing with them, you can see the 88 of Flett and more. As your leaders are coming through that battle, they're 3 wide going through. Borison's got a part of that as well. What a mess working through that is Southern 76 also in there.
Oh, Blaine Manning.
And Manning shuffled out and loses a spot. So Delfell now going to have to be careful. He is collecting up close to the back of that field, and the intersection could very easily bite the Grizz, although he has passed that more than just about any other driver in this field here.
Yeah, no kidding. We know the intersection will get hot. So right now, Doug Delfell, you just need to keep leading the pace as much as you can. But Chevy Vincent might look to move Delfell around. We'll see here.
Not afraid to use a little bit of the chrome horn on these cars. And again, it comes into play quite often as your co-announcer on at the track itself. Derek Todoroff will say that's figure 8 racing. It is inherently a little bit physical with the front bumper, although they're playing very, very nice right now getting into the turns.
Yeah, it's still early. We haven't quite reached our halfway point yet for these super stocks, but we've got a Chris Southard and a Tasha Dunn stalled near the North Pole. Everyone say ho, ho, ho as they move around.
Let's see if any of them feel like jolly old Alice is coming through. Delfell gets a piece of Southard, and boy, that breaks the 0-1 car. What a rough break for Doug Delfell, bringing his own 01 out in 2 as Southern chose to gas it up at the absolute wrong time. Let's take a look.
Oh, Doug, nowhere to go for the Grizz.
Well, Grizz out. Vincent lead. We're coming back to finish off the Superstock Figure 8 main event next on Home Track Heroes. We have reached the final segment of Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Caleb Hart, Ben Iman with you. It's been our pleasure to be part of this show today. It has been a lot of fun. We have still got 18 laps with a mostly full field of Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s on the track. Up in front, Chevy Vincent just inherited the lead as, unfortunately for Doug Delfell, he got splatted. As running second will be Sheridan Vincent. Mackenzie Dietz setting up the 3rd spot with the nice red underglow coming out from the bottom of Scarlet.
We got to point out, the big mover is Quentin Borison, already up into 5th. The 5 car started near the back of this race. The 17-car field is moving himself. That's your points leader, and quickly moving his way forward is, Rick Yargis is around.
Look out, Yargis. Save it, buddy. Save it. Well, that's not much of a save. That's no, Rick. Go the other way.
Well,
Okay,
he is at least going the right direction.
He's moving, and that counts for something. So, not quite how I think he wanted to celebrate his anniversary, but, he's still rolling, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Chevy Vincent, Sheridan Vincent, Mackenzie Dietz, 1, 2, and 3. As you see Blaine Manning checking up for the intersection. Rick, that's a terrible 2-lap sequence for him. As the big shot into Bill Fleischacker, and we'll see red flag action as they cross through the intersection.
Yeah, that was a hard hit for Yargis. Lots of damage to that side. Got 17X. Let's go on board.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at the velocity of the impact there. So let's
Knocked
take
the
another
canvas.
look. Blaine Manning's got a nice little shot of it. Full send and smashy. No good.
Here's Robert Weldon's view.
Wow. Well, good timing on having those particular GoPros. Thank you, Brandy, for picking those cars to have them with. Wow, yeah, just full gun for it, and it doesn't stick. So, thoughts and happy ones going out to Rick after that collision in the intersection. And same to Fleischacker. He took quite the lick there as well.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but that is the risk that these drivers run. We love them for it, but sometimes there's the big ones.
All is a part to entertain you guys, the viewing audience here on Home Track Heroes, brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, the name you can trust. Since 1976, for quality service and peace of mind, visit them today at GeneJohnsonServices.com. As they say, we're on it.
Big shout out to Gene Johnson helping us make Home Track Heroes a product you can view. Right now, Chevy Vincent leads from Sheridan. And it said Bill Fleischacker for a moment. That was not correct. It's Mackenzie Dietz right there running third. And I believe that's Quentin Borison running fourth. Are team orders a thing in figure eight racing?
It could very well be. You think maybe the ticker had a little PTSD from that intersection shot for a second and just kind of
I think so. I know the ticker was also struggling a little bit. We were battling some inclement weather.
It's true. As taking a look at it here, the sky has gotten very, very dark and ominous outside, so we'll monitor that, although it's dry enough for the time being. There is Borison.
Whoa, big lockup.
Yeah, little tap to the back end of the Dietz 67 car. Quentin, as usual, as the race gets long, he knows where to be and how to get there. As long as he doesn't get caught up in somebody else's mess, he typically ends up picking his way through the field. Impressive for a guy that's driving one-handed around the entirety of our figure eight. Let's go in car with Quentin in the 5 as he tries to chase down and get around Mackenzie in the 67.
Yeah, we'll see what Borison's able to do. Again, these are the two cars in front of him are the ones trying to run down Quentin Borison for points. And well, Quentin Borison has made quick work of this field. Right now, Mackenzie Dietz, Sheridan Vincent have been stuck behind Chevy most of the night.
Chevy leading the way. Borison again from the in-car, and you're watching as he'll make the swing to the outside here in the left-hand corner. Big circle around to the left, and Dietz knows exactly what to do when somebody gets on the outside there, the left-hand turn, is you have got to get accelerated at the apex and force him as far out as you can possibly get. It's a good technical driving by Dietz, and Borison, who's played this game long enough, knows, okay, person in front of me knows what they're doing. I'm going to have to settle down and try a different path and get on and by her.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an incident behind these guys. Chris Southard got around, made some contact with Jeff Talbert, but Doug Delfell's back out there. That's good to see. The Grizz got his car patched back up and is running again.
Now, Vincent's got a lapped car in between him and Sheridan, so Chevy with a piece of slower traffic helping him out, and now starting to work past Southard and trying to get past Talbot as well. The more slower traffic you can put between you and your pursuers, the better off you are. Yeah. Although Sheridan doing a very good job of matching him move for move and coming through to the point where all the way around the outside goes Chevy, having to get by Talbot that time and loses some opportunity as Sheridan's going to catch back up to him in a hurry.
And Quentin Borison has gotten around Mackenzie Dietz for third with all that lap traffic, using the pick perfectly. Sheridan Vincent runs behind Chevy, and the caution flag is out.
Yellow 369 stuffed up and just kind of hanging out right in the middle. That is our rookie driver of Tasha Dunn. So Dunn hanging out. We will come back to the booth and reset. We've only got about 7 laps to go here, Ben. And the front has been the Vincent show, but now, and especially with the double up behind the leader coming up here, that is a huge opportunity for Borison.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity for Borison. She's going to have the inside line off the North Pole as well. And Mackenzie Dietz stuck up there in fourth. Oh, it's going to have the outside line in row 2.
So Borison with the shot here, going to be stuck around the outside of the right-hand turns, and Vincent really doesn't get him pushed way out of line so that he can have a run here to the inside. Give second to the one-armed bandit, and Dietz now barreling to the inside, trying to pick up room on Vincent, but couldn't quite get by on those corners.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We'll see how long these two drivers play nice, because it may end up being, hey, look, one of us is going to have to challenge Borison. And I'm pretty sure Mackenzie would like it to be her, so we'll see how long these drivers cooperate.
You know, both of these drivers are thought of fairly well in the pit area amongst the figure eight guys for driving clean, that being Vincent and Dietz. You don't hear many of the fellow drivers complaining about how overly physical they are. Yeah, they'll lay a bumper to you, but you haven't seen them straight take somebody out. Mm-hmm. And I believe they're playing pretty nice with each other right now. Tasha Dunn thought about shooting that intersection, and for a second, Quentin Borison was going to have to jam on those binders. As we're coming into 3 to go, it is Vincent Chevy version trying to hold off Quentin Borison. as Borison putting the pressure on and Vincent doing everything he can to hang on.
Yeah, Quentin Borison's a tough car to defend from. Sheridan Vincent's hanging on to third as it stands from Mackenzie Dietz, but I think Chevy's almost had something to prove so far. That 45's been to victory lane twice this year, but it's been his two sub-drivers who've gotten there. The Cowboy, John Carlson, one night, Dawson Cox another night. Two very big names here at Evergreen Speedway, and now Chevy Vincent saying, look, if they can do it, I can do it too.
2 more passes through the intersection is all it's going to take. You got a little wide coming off that corner, coming to the white flag intersection, plays out well for him the first time by. Borison right there on the back of him, but not side by side. Through the intersection one more time, look out, he got there. Off of the final corner, can Vincent hold it? He can, and Chevy Vincent gets the win over Borison and Sheridan Vincent in a fun finish here at the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 Main.
Yeah, what an event. We saw contact, we saw the intersection, and we saw Chevy Vincent burning it down as he brings the car back to the front stretch, gives it a big spin around, and he'll take the 45 to victory lane.
Let's talk to your winners down the Angel Winds Casino Resort podium.
Sheridan, everything else aside, you're sharing the podium with your son. How does that feel?
I'm not going to hear the end of it since he won, so. But a great night, 2 cars on the podium again. He drove a great race, clean race. I got really tight towards the end, so nothing I could do, but I was just holding on, so great job to him.
And who helps you get this car out here?
Siskin Power Equipment, NEM's Dog Spa, West Weld, my wife, and happy anniversary to Rick and Shannon Yargis.
Driver of the number 43, Sheridan Vincent, 3rd place tonight. You know, Quentin, at one point, I was keeping track of the live gap between you and the rest of the field in points. It was 1 at one point. You were 1 point ahead of Sheridan. You will leave this race 15 ahead. How are you feeling?
Yeah, that's a good thing. We had a team meeting earlier and stuff. There's bonus points in the NASCAR region for starting further back. So we elected to drop to the back of the field instead of start up in 6 with the other fast cars. And I knew it was going to be a challenge, but, you know, worked out.
Seems to have paid off in spades. As the Sky has other plans, I'll move on. Who are the sponsors who help get you out here?
Oh, I got Mary's Towing, Mary's a Wreck Auto Parts. I've got Mary right here, my car owner. Man, I'm telling you guys, if you guys ever get an opportunity or you need a tow or anything, please call her. She's the reason that we're out here with this car and we have it at the track and get to entertain all of you guys. So that would be wonderful. Brandy Hood Promotions, she's so awesome. She puts cameras in my car all the time, posts videos, sends them to me and stuff. If you guys ever want to see what it's like to drive my car, sitting in my car, go to her site on YouTube. And it's Brandy Hood Promotions, and just punch in the driver of the car, whatever car you want to watch. She does videos for everybody. It's really awesome. I got Olympia Pizza House, my friend Nick, who has been helping with our other car, and Tommy Gap, and Keith Taylor, Brandon Lovely, Chris Calder, Dave Brandenburg's here tonight. I mean, I love that because we were together forever and ever and ever. So anyway, thanks, everybody, for enduring the weather.
Driver the number 5, Quentin Borison, 2nd tonight. Alrighty, Chevy. 2 times previously that car's made it to victory lane. Now it finally does it with you behind the wheel. How are you feeling right now?
Car, at the end, it was so slippery. Felt like I was driving on water. But to finally see what the car can do from Cowboy and Dawson and finally put it to work.
Hey, you beat everyone in that field. You beat the Sky. Who helped you do it?
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Siskin Power Equipment and Auntie M's Dog Spa. And I'd like to thank my mom and dad. Oh, and Homegrown Hair Studio.
Driver the number 45. Give it up for Chevy Vincent, race winner tonight.
Well, poor Derek. The weather comes right as the podium ends up getting on. He ends up getting great job, Derek DT. And congratulations to Chevy Vincent on the feature win. Ben, great show today. We got even more fun coming up. Next week's Home Track Heroes, monster trucks.
Monster trucks.
Bus racing. We'll have some dwarf cars to throw on and some bump to pass and some buses. Did I mention buses? I probably did. Buses are awesome. The next time you can come out to Evergreen Speedway, the fair is going to be on. It is going to be Seattle 11 night at the races. That is coming up on Saturday the 31st. Street stocks, super stock figure 8s, mini stocks, Stinger 8s, and Hornets. And then, of course, Sunday the 1st, come join us as demo derby time, Hornets, buses, all those bump to passes, boat racing, and more. Going to be great. For Derek and Griff, for Ben, I'm Caleb. Thank you, guys. We love you. See you next week on Home Track Heroes.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.